Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Beth, and I just finished reading Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. This book was published in 1987 and is about 300 pages long. If the name looks familiar to you, Douglas Adams also wrote and published the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I have read that entire series, um, and I can honestly say that this book falls prey to some of the same things that the sequels did. And I didn't feel like this book was very remarkable, so to speak. Main premise: we basically have this man Richard, who gets accused of killing his boss. Has a run-in with his old professor who's losing his mind, and a old college friend named Dirk Gently, who basically says, "You're accused of murder. Let me help you get out of this, but you're gonna give me some money because this guy doesn't actually do any work. He's a big swindler, but the book kind of makes it seem like he has a real job." Um, there's really not much to this book, honestly. I thought the prose was just okay. I never laughed. I never laughed out loud. I never even smirked. This book just felt tedious to me. I think part of that's due to the fact that it took a solid 100 pages for me to get into the book. I don't know if that's because of the irreverent nature of Douglas Adams' writing, and when you put in different points of view, especially so many irreverent different points of view, it kind of makes the story not move in any way, especially when you don't have any characters to kind of help bridge the gap because all the characters are very one note. Dirk Gently, literally all he is just a bumbling swindler. Uh, the old college professor, Reg, he's just a bumbling college professor and spouts out weird nonsense. And our main character is just kind of plain. Not gonna, I mean, he bails on his girlfriend Susan a lot, but maybe he's a bit overworked, maybe a bit of a workaholic, but yeah, he's pretty plain, Richard. So I feel like I don't have much to say about this book. I actually do think his writing is good. I liked there was a section in which Douglas Adams talked about quantum mechanics and how it related to the ways of the universe and how everything's interconnected. And I thought that was fun to read about, but just because it did throw in that validity of science into the science fiction book, and everything else was it just felt like someone throwing facts at you or throwing weird nonsense at you constantly, and it never clicks in any meaningful way. I feel like there were certain strings in this book that were never really tied up, and the Deus Ex Machina at the end, I don't even think that's giving spoilers. It was irrelevant. It didn't make much sense, but the whole book doesn't make much sense. Maybe if it was a more funny book, if it was funnier, then I would have not, gotten into the nitty gritty details of this book. I wouldn't be judging it so hard, but it wasn't funny. And, I'm looking at the reviews back here and, it's saying it's so hilarious. And I don't agree. Personally, I think that, I really like the first book to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I think the rest you could pretty much take it or leave it. It's not that they're bad. None of these books are bad. This is not a bad book, and I read it quite quickly. It's very much if you just have nothing better to read, maybe, and you got it very cheap. I would not pay good money for this. I'm happy I got this used. Um, I think, then go ahead, read it. It's fun. But if you haven't read The Guide to the Galaxy, read that one first. That one's more fun. And then maybe pick up this or maybe pick up one of the sequels. The sequels, at least they'll be continuing a story, but that one, I don't know. I got burnt out on that series. Maybe don't read it one after another. That's a mistake I've made before because then you just really get burnt out on any series. Maybe those books are better than I'm remembering them. But this one I just finished, so I know for a fact it took so long to get into the book, and once I was relatively into the book, or at least slightly intrigued about what was going on, I felt cheated. And I just there was there was no fun for me. Maybe you'll find the fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my review. Have a good one.